On June 2nd, 2025, two old dads started fighting. TommyC called out Chud due to remembering that he had some unresolved minor issue in the past. Most of Tommy's streams are rambling about random things he doesn't like about Chud at this point. The key points, though, are that Chud lost his honor/credibility because Chud betrayed his word. Should be simple enough. Except Tommy never presents Chud's obligation to the audience. It's very he said, she said. Chud allegedly promised that he wouldn't tell on BowBlax an address, but revealed that during the big New Year's stream between Chud, Augie, Turkish Thomas, and Christoph or Snickerdoodle. We can't find this promise anywhere, except apparently Aiden Underground said that Chud made this promise. This is due to neither party wanting to leak texts, despite both sort of playing chicken with it, Chud much less so. Another issue Tommy has is that Chud tried to wedge Turkey Tom away from Destiny's community using information, the secret at the time, that Pixie's pics had leaked. Apparently there was a memo sent from the drama writers not to reveal anything, but Chud jumped a few episodes ahead. Tom was distancing himself anyways, he said so much on stream. The rest of Tommy's second stream was just berating Chud and implying things. He describes Chud as a less than good father, so Chud simplifies it to being a derelict father figure, and Tommy goes crazy over pedantry. Chud did this too when Tommy said he didn't have an issue with Chud getting catfished, but this was actually a confusing sentence for some watchers, including Chud, where he's actually on Chud's side. There's a pretty healthy heaping of irony here too, where Tommy says he doesn't want to talk to Chud because he was pedantic about the word fascist, then proceeds to be pedantic about the term derelict father figure, despite describing Chud as missing time with his kids to go chase Bussy. Chud's defense is that he didn't want to take sides. The fascist thing was some debate between Kiwimon and Tommy ages ago. Tommy also uses a lot of social pressure, saying stuff like Kiwimon and Aiden agree with him, despite neither really coming on the show to say that, and, publicly, very much disagree with that. Chud is practically begging for a call with Tommy at this point, not out of desperation, but because he doesn't want to watch multiple 4-hour streams 4 times a week. Tommy, instead of talking to Chud, talks to his fans, and it's kind of weird. There's a career jealousy aspect of this being brought on, as with Tommy saying that Chud stopped talking to him when Tommy received a few $1,000s from Musty, a guy you can trusty. Shout out to him, I heard he adopted a kid. Some of Chud's fans thinks Tommy is lashing out because Tommy's channel relies on a couple of whales, while Chud is growing at a pretty decent pace. There's some familial insults thrown in for good measure. It's a bit tit for tat here. The meat of the situation, what little exists, is that Tommy predicts that Chud is waiting for a chance to jump on the community. Meanwhile, Tommy took 6 months to address a tiny issue and is blowing it out of proportion because the drama well is currently pretty dry. Chud is just waiting for his chance to pounce on Nick Dioria, or Augie RFC, or Connor X8, or Tom, just like he did BowBlax. That's what Tommy says. This is a prediction. Tommy has been right and wrong about them before, with a lot of the smaller predictions kind of coming true and a lot of the bigger ones being wrong. So it's hard not to take it as rambling when the two issues he has are kind of weak. More stuff is coming out at the moment, but it's pretty boring and repetitive, so unless evidence gets shown, this is good for now. BowBlax is indefensible. I agree that Tommy's point can have merit if he showed evidence, but even if he did, turning an audience against Chud would be supremely difficult just because the person Tommy alleges Chud snaked is so dishonorable. Most of the BowBlax drama is after the January stream, so Tommy waiting for 6 months also hurts because BowBlax causes more entropy. Throwing a wedge between Turkey Tom and Destiny using what was a secret is a dishonorable tactic, sure, but that's immediately set aside since the situation behind the scenes with Destiny was so bad and the wedge was ultimately unnecessary. Part of the issue was that the Pixie leaks were made very slightly more public. However, with President Sunday's ultimate leak review coming soon after, this doesn't matter. I think they were vague enough in the stream that only people who knew a little even perked their ears. Ultimately, I think it's good to throw a wrench at a friend who may be associating with some dastard, but it's Tom's choice who was already on his way out of the Dalaban. That's not to say Tommy's criticism isn't true, and hindsight is 20/20, which is also why it's so odd that Tommy decided now was the best time to call out Chud. There's too many nullifying factors to Tommy's criticism for it to be taken seriously. Tommy also thinks Chud either didn't have a working class background or is faking how bad it was, when Chud said that he had holes in his shorts. Like, yeah, all shorts have 3 holes. Joking aside, Chud said not to donate for that since it's literally like 40 years ago. It's just a very weird comment to make, but it's all about credibility attacks here. Evidence not required. To be fair, Tommy's reason for making this attack is that Chud constantly attacks credibility, which is somewhat true, but I think that most dramas do end up attacking credibility when honor is on the line. Tommy's predictions and comments are especially ironic when looking at his channel. Saying things like no one will want to talk to Chud because he's a snake is weird when Tommy uploaded a video of Turkey Tom talking to Tommy from 3 years ago, netting the most views for his channel in a long while. The community seems like it's getting isolationist as of late due to a few dropping out and a few switching projects that had a trend of talking to a lot more people. However, Chud talks to probably the most people, at least outside the drama community, and besides Tommy's SFTP, there's very few multi-host streams anymore, even guest host shows. I went over all their videos while streaming and both leave out some context. Chud because he's watching streams offline, and Tommy due to having shorter stream cuts. I awarded Tommy 1 point for Chud revealing the BowBlax dress, but took it away when Chud didn't actually do that, and he also said that he was under no responsibility to keep it secret. So until there's evidence, Chud's winning, as drama point ties go to the defender. With that being said, I think Tommy is having a very weird moment, lashing out at someone while the Dawn of Drama is on vacation and everyone else in the circle is either irrelevant, that's me too, I know my lane, or gone. I think there are good criticisms of Chud, like that he's bald. Tommy just makes unproven ones. Since this is still technically an ongoing situation, there are a couple people that I'd like to recommend watching to get more context. For extra context, I think watching Aiden Underground and Cliaming would probably be best, as they are almost directly tied to the situation. They're not the ones in a beef with Tommy, but Tommy is referencing them. Aiden is often in Chud's chat, and Cliaming has made many streams on this situation, so go watch them if you want an additional third-party review.